Ladies and gentlemen, the man who's...
Alright, what is up, guys? Today we back with another video. Actually, this is my first video in like a long time. This is going to be on my new channel. This is going to be a reaction channel, my other channel. I'll subscribe over there too if this is your first time seeing me. My other channel, I do, like mixes, and I do 2K content over there, and this is my reaction channel. It's going to be my new reaction channel. So for our first video, we're doing the 50 best players in the NBA. It's a video by B Souls. Let's check it out.
Trying to make everyone happy is back. It feels good to say that, and today we are back with another video. 2 videos ago I did my top 50 all-time list, and with this break we have, I think it's a good time to reflect on what the NBA landscape is looking right now. Today we're going to be going over my top 50 players in the NBA as of mid-April 2020. If y'all didn't watch my all-time top 50, the players I will list off will be in order according to my opinion, but I will also be simultaneously incorporating tiers, which is generally represent a clump of players that I believe for the most part, emphasis on the most part, are interchangeable. Okay. Again, the tiers are still my opinion, but it should ease some of those so-and-so is over so-and-so comments. Like already, I don't agree with the way you order them personally, but I see where you're coming from.
He getting tired of y'all commenting all the time.
Also, this list is considering everyone healthy, but also considering how they'll play after their injury. So for example, Kevin Durant will be evaluated based on how I think his injury will affect his production once he's fully healthy. The same with Klay Thompson, the same with Kyrie Irving, etc, etc. Alright, now that we got the rules and regulations out the way, one last thing. Let me know what y'all think inspired the thumbnail. Hint, it's not an album this time. And also leave a like for more content like this. It helps out a lot. Only takes 5 seconds. Schroeder, Hassan Whiteside, Bogdan Bogdanovic, Marcus Smart, 2 players in the NBA that missed the cut. Shout out to Jamal Murray, Tobias Harris, Marcus Smart, Fred VanVleet, Dennis Schroeder, Hassan Whiteside, Bogdan Bogdanovic, Norman Powell, Eric Bledsoe, Buddy Hield, Derrick Rose, Brook Lopez, John Collins, and Draymond Green. Especially Draymond Green, because he's one of those players that really...
So D Rose and Lou Will are top 50? That's what we're going to start off basing this off of. Is who are they better than D Rose and Lou Will?
Raise the ceiling of a great team, but if he's on a bad team, his talents aren't really put to use. I believe once Steph and Klay do come back next year, I believe he's going to be much more effective, and he will remind people why just a couple years ago he was viewed as an arguably top 20 player in the league. Also, shout out to Blake Griffin, John Wall, and Victor Oladipo, players who can easily change my list depending on how they bounce back from their injuries. But now that we got the honorable mentions out the way, let's go ahead and start listing out the actual top 50, starting with Montrezl Harrell at 50, TJ Warren at 49, DeAndre Ayton at 48, Nikola Vucevic at 47, Jaren Jackson Jr. at...
Okay, first of all, you already messed up. You already messed up putting TJ Warren over Lou Williams, or D Rose for that matter. TJ Warren is not messing with Lou Will or D Rose. He can put the ball in the hoop, like he's a decent player, but he ain't messing with Lou Will, bro. Nah, TJ Warren. I mean, the rest of these guys, let's just keep going.
46, De'Aaron Fox at 45.
De'Aaron Fox. Oh my God, bro. You got De'Aaron Fox over Lou Williams. Do you have no respect? This guy has been in the league for like 3 years. Bro, De'Aaron Fox, he can't shoot. He's like a Rondo 2.0. Right, he has more speed, and he's a playmaker and a slasher. He's not a, you know what I'm saying? Well, maybe not a Rondo 2.0. How about like a Westbrook? Negative 0.5 is what he is. He's not better than
John Morant at 44, Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at 43, LaMarcus Aldridge at 42, and Gordon Hayward at 41. So let's start this video with the first 10, which also means we are starting off with all of tier 6, at least in the top 50. There might be a couple more of the honorable mentions that actually belong in this tier. Couple of things to highlight in this part of the list. 1, John Morant over Jaren Jackson. I know some of y'all think that Jaren Jackson is better than Ja, which again I honestly see that viewpoint, and I myself was contemplating it, so I put them in the same tier. But me personally, I think Ja Morant is the driving force of that team, which is why I have him ahead of Jaren Jackson. Also, is that Gordon Hayward at 41? Trash Hayward? Look, I must say, Gordon Hayward has definitely proved me wrong this year in terms of his production, and shout out to him for that, because this season he's having a sneaky good season, averaging 17 points, 4 assists, 6 rebounds on 50, 39, 85 splits. But aside from that, not much else to go over in this part of the list. Let's go ahead and move on to the top 40, starting with Zach LaVine at 40, Drew Holiday at 39, Domantas Sabonis at 38.
Here we go again with Sabonis, yo. Why does everybody think Sabonis is so good? He's not that good. He's a rebounder, and he can do a little playmaking. Like he's a good player. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect to him. You know what I'm saying? He's a good player. He's not what everyone hypes him up to be. Like he shouldn't have even been an All-Star this year. I don't think. Not over Bradley Beal. I know he's a forward and Bradley Beal's a shooting guard, but still, I don't really care.
8, Zion Williamson at 37, DeMar DeRozan at 36, CJ McCollum at 35, D'Angelo Russell at 34, Jaylen Brown at 33, Trae Young at 32.
I think there are over 35 players better than DeMar DeRozan. No, they're not. Jaylen Brown's not better than DeRozan. CJ. I don't know. DeRozan, and it's on the Raptors, bro. DeRozan was that dude. No, DeRozan's better than CJ McCollum. He's better than CJ McCollum. I can't.
Devin Booker at 31. Now, this is where it starts getting controversial.
Yeah.
Zach LaVine at 40? The guy averaging 26, 4, and 5 on good shooting splits. Zach LaVine is the 40th best player in the league? Is that Trae Young at 32? Is that Devin Booker at 31? 30 points and 9 assists a game, Trae Young at 32? 26, 7, and 4 on great efficiency, Devin Booker at 31? B-Souls, how could you? Man, you're just doing this for views. This guy's trash. Why am I even watching this?
Bro,
look, I swear I'm not just trying to have a hot take. I swear to God. I spent a decent amount of time on this list and making sure I was as consistent as possible, but the reason I genuinely think that the NBA is just this talented. I can't think of an era where you can make an argument that a player who averaged 29 and 9 is at best, that's to the most delusional Trae Young fans, at best, 13. And with the names I have above them, I believe a lot of them are just as good offensive players and contribute more to the game, whether that be being a much better player on the defensive end or being a better playmaker, whatever it may be. Just a clarification, what I just said right now is not just for Trae Young. It applies for this group of players like Devin Booker, Zach LaVine, and Trae Young, because I do understand that there are not many better playmakers than him. A couple of the players above him also don't fall in that specific category of being a better offensive player and contributing more to the game, but I am giving them the benefit of the doubt due to their intangibles and their ability to contribute to a winning franchise, which I believe is easier said than done. But with that being said, let's go ahead and move on to the top 30. And at number 30, we have Chris Middleton, 29.
Oh my God. These two players, yo, Sabonis and Chris Middleton, bro. Chris Middleton should not be a two-time All-Star. You know who's a two-time All-Star? Isaiah Thomas. And he was on the Celtics. Bro, Chris Middleton is a 3-and-D player. Like, I know he's, like, better than 3-and-D, but that's how I look at him. Like, he's a second option to LeBron. I mean, not LeBron. Giannis. I see LeBron right there. But Chris Middleton, like, yeah, he can dribble and stuff. He can... Like, he's a good player. He's a good all-around player. He can dribble. He can, you know what I'm saying, create off the dribble, I think, a little bit. But not better than DeRozan, I don't think. Well, he's a good defender, though. DeRozan's not that good at defense. I don't know. Chris Middleton, he has a nice game, but he's not the 30th best player in the league. Especially not over DeRozan or Trae Young or D-Book or D'Angelo Russell, for that matter.
9 Bradley Beal, 28 Kristaps Porzingis, 27 Bam Adebayo, 26 Brandon Ingram, 25 Kemba Walker, 24 Donovan Mitchell, 23 Kyle Lowry, 22 Rudy Gobert, and
Bro, please, bro. I'm not trying to get triggered right now, yo. He has to be doing this for views. Rudy Gobert? I sound like Flight right now, but Rudy Gobert, bro, he is not. Literally, all he does is block shots. He can't He can't dribble. He has no skills whatsoever. Blocking shots is kind of a skill. It's like instincts. It's not like skills necessarily. I mean, there's a little skill in it. But no, he's not better than Kemba. Kemba is so much better than Rudy Gobert, bro. Bro. Rudy Gobert should honestly be behind Sabonis. Rudy Gobert and Zach LaVine should switch. No, actually, no. No, they shouldn't switch. I don't know. Rudy Gobert is not. Wow, that. Wow.
And 21, Karl Anthony Towns. Again, more controversial placements that I was honestly surprised as well because of where I thought they'd rank prior to making this list. But again, to highlight some of the problems some of you guys might have with this part of the list. Number 1, Bradley Beal at 29. A guy averaging 31 points, 6 and 5 on good shooting splits is being placed at 29. I place him there the same reason I placed Devin Booker, Trae Young, and Zach LaVine where they are. Because I do think that their stats are inflated due to A, the pace of the league, B, the system they're in, C, their role in said system, and D, their effectiveness on the defensive end, no pun intended, has been kind of overlooked. For these players, I really did try to give them the benefit of the doubt, but it would just be hypocritical on my part to have, let's say, Kristaps Porzingis over Trae Young, but not over Bradley Beal, when the reason I have Porzingis over Trae Young perfectly applies to Bradley Beal as well. The placement of players like Kemba Walker, Kyle Lowry, and D. Mitch over those players who are putting up these crazy numbers are attributed to that contributor on a winning team reasoning.
I can see Trae Young a little bit because his team is horrible. They're like one of the worst teams in the league. Like if you're an all-star, you gotta like win at least a little bit. You know what I'm saying? Devin Booker should be higher because his team is actually decent, or they were decent. In the beginning of the season, they were actually a decent team. You know what I'm saying? Ja Morant should actually be higher because they're in the playoffs. I'm pretty sure they're like the 8th seed or maybe the 9th seed. Maybe they're just out of the playoffs. But no, no, this is not. Nah. Chris Middleton should be higher than. If you're going off that, because they have the best record in the league. No, the Lakers do. But
I mentioned earlier. But what about Karl Anthony Towns? Because he seems like a player that should also be in the lower 20s based on everything I've just said. And you know what? I completely understand why you say that. He is a player who is not that good defensively, who is putting up monstrous offensive numbers, who isn't winning. Just like Devin Booker, Zach LaVine, Trae Young, and Bradley Beal. But the way I look at it, a 6'11" center, averaging 27 points, 11 rebounds, and 4 assists on 51, 41, 80 splits, shooting 8 threes a game, is much different from a guard averaging 25 plus points per game in today's league. There's more you can do to stop a scoring guard or a scoring wing than you can to a 6'11" center that talented. Those numbers and his skill set are so ridiculous that me putting him at 21, in my opinion, is the lowest I can go. Now let's move on to the top 20.
no, it's an ad. Look at Curry, man.
When I was a freshman, I didn't take a chance at
20. Starting with Ben Simmons at 20, Pascal Siakam at 19, Klay Thompson at 18, Chris Paul at 17, Joel Embiid at 16, Jason Tatum at 15, Paul George at 14, Jimmy Butler at 13, Russell Westbrook at 12, and Kyrie Irving at 11. So again, let's go over some of the problems you guys might have with this part of the list. Number 1, the Embiid and Ben Simmons placement, more specifically Embiid being 4 spots higher than Ben Simmons, and also
Oh no. I just realized this. Man. So he thinks Jokic is a top 10 player in the league. Or the top tier. Joel Embiid is so much better than Jokic. Jokic is like, maybe not so much better, but Joel Embiid is better than Jokic. For sure. You're talking about a guy who's 7 feet tall, 250 pounds. This man, unguardable post moves, pretty much. Not unguardable, but like super polished, you know what I'm saying? Post moves. A great rebounder, great shot blocker. He can shoot the 3 ball a little bit. You know what I'm saying? He can shoot the 3. And he passes. And he's a decent playmaker. He's not as good as playmaker as Jokic. But like Embiid and Karl Anthony Towns are really similar. You can't have Embiid that much higher than Karl-Anthony Towns. Like their play styles and they have the same skills and they're both good at excellent at each one. Jason Tatum, Paul George, and Jimmy
Also
Butler
in a different team
are like
placement.
those three. They're like three wings. Like they're all like they're the same. I think Jimmy Butler personally is like a little better. He just like because he always makes the right play. He always knows like he'll pass up a shot to get an assist. He'll jump in passing lanes and get a steal. Paul George will do that too, by the way. But Jimmy Butler and Paul George are definitely better than Jason Tatum. Kyrie, yeah, Kyrie. If we're basing on skills, Kyrie is like top 10, probably top 5, based on solely skills. But like, he's not a good defensive player. He's not a great playmaker. I mean, he's a decent playmaker. He just doesn't playmake that much. You know what I'm saying? Westbrook should be higher. I think I should be higher.
More specifically,
I don't want to
that they were all over the few moves. Despite what my list actually says, I do believe that they are around the same tier and are closer than what my list makes it seem. Also, let's talk about Klay Thompson and Kyrie, because they are 2 of the 3 players I mentioned in the beginning of this video when it pertained to injuries affecting their ranking. And with what I said earlier, why are they so high on this list? Well, for one, while Klay's injury was definitely a serious one, I honestly don't expect that much of a drop off from him even after his injury. I still believe he'll be the elite shooter we've always known him as. He'll still be a great wing defender, maybe not as good as he was before, but as long as those 2 things don't take a drastic fall off, I don't think his effectiveness will change that much from before his injury. Kyrie, on the other hand, in my opinion, has proven throughout his career that he can bounce back from numerous amounts of injuries and still play at a high level. And as far as leadership and stuff like that goes, I've already made a separate video on how I believe all of that is just blown way out of proportion, so that didn't really affect my rankings. Push comes to shove, Kyrie Irving is going to be a 25 point per game caliber player on great efficiency, be one of the best shot creators and closers in the league, and will be in a position that everyone has been saying he will thrive in, right? As a second option. So in that sense, I'm giving Kyrie the benefit of the doubt. However, I will say for the first time ever, I am fully open to anyone who believes Westbrook is better than Kyrie from 1, a reliability standpoint, and 2, his improvement this year in terms of efficiency has really closed that gap as well. And while yes, I know,
don't even bring up his defensive too. He's so much better defensively than Kyrie. Kyrie don't even play defense.
That in a way, it is a knock on him that he needs the greatest spacing in history just to average 48% from the field. But the truth is, this is going to be the player we'll be watching for the next 2 to 3 years. A guy who's going to be capable of putting up 26 to 28 points per game, around 7 to 8 rebounds and assists, and shoot 46 to 48% from the field. If every argument for him is just countered with, but he's in this system though, because yes, his numbers are affected by his system, but systems do create players and playstyles, and that's just the nature of the game. Also, for him to be doing what he's doing as a second option to a team that was going to win 51 to 53 games goes against a lot of the criticism against him the past 2 years. So once again, shout out to Russell Westbrook for that. Y'all probably never thought you'd hear me praise Russell Westbrook, but here I am. The last thing I want to talk about in this part of the list is Jason Tatum's placement, because some might make the claim that I'm jumping the gun too much for season. I just don't see how that produced enough about the 2 Damian Lillard, number 9 Nikola Jokic, number 8 Luka Doncic.
Here we go with Jokic, yo. Jokic is not. I mean, again, same with Sabonis. I respect like what Jokic can do. I respect his talents. He is a good player, right? I'm not saying he's a bad player, but he's not better than Joel Embiid or Karl-Anthony Towns. That's facts. He's not. He's just not. He's slow. He's not athletic. He can barely even dunk. I might have seen him dunk once. That's because I was doing a highlights mix of him. But other than that, I've never seen him dunk. And Luka, okay, that's fine. Luka, that's crazy how good he is in the second year of the league, though. Luka's that boy nice.
Doncic, number 7 Kevin Durant,
KD.
number 6 Anthony Davis. Number 5, James Harden. Number 4, Stephen Curry.
Kawhi,
number 3,
Giannis
Antetokounmpo. Okay. Number 2, LeBron James. And number 1, Kawhi.
Bro, I'm done, bro. I'm done. This guy, yo, I can't respect I can't respect anyone that does this. I can't respect anyone that, anyone's opinion that puts anyone over LeBron. Anybody, you can't put one person over LeBron. 4 MVPs, 3 championships. He led his team to the finals. Each team, that's from the Cavs and his first run with the Cavs, and then the next time he went to the finals was in 2011 with the Heat, and then the second run with the Cavs. He went to the finals every single year. He was with the Heat and the second run with the Cavs. Every year. You can't. And his teams were not good at all in the later parts of the second Cavs run, especially after Kyrie left. You can't tell me that Kawhi is better than LeBron. Kawhi's top 5 for sure, but he's not better than LeBron. No. Giannis, yeah, Giannis is one of my favorite players. Giannis and Harden are one of my favorite players. Steph Curry, it's always like tough with these top 10 players. They're kind of interchangeable, but like the top 3, LeBron, Giannis, and Kawhi. LeBron's number 1, bro. LeBron's number 1. There's no argument. Steph Curry, Harden. It's tough. It's tough to say, man. LeBron's better than Kawhi though. Just like his resume, just his career. Like you just have to put respect on his name. Like you just have to put him over Kawhi. I know Kawhi is like way better defensively than LeBron, but like LeBron just has like he just has something in him that he makes everyone around him better. He's averaging double-digit assists. I'm pretty sure. KD, man, KD slipped, man. It's hard. I think we forgot how good KD is because we haven't seen him play in like 2 years in a long time. We forgot how good KD is, but when he comes back, yo, I'm taking so long to go to the video because I'm trying to think of like a way that I could fix this, but I don't know. It's tough to say again. Like Harden, Steph Curry. Harden's leading the league in scoring. You can't put Steph Curry over him right now because he's injured. Or he was injured. He came back actually though. But again, Anthony Davis. KD is better than Anthony Davis. No, you can't say KD's not better than Anthony Davis. What? Yeah, the top 5 for the past few years, it's always been LeBron, Kawhi, Harden, KD, and Curry. Then Giannis came into the mix and he messed everything up. Now it's hard to choose and switch them up. That's always the top 5, not in order. Well, LeBron's always number 1, but for the rest, it's interchangeable. You know what I'm saying? Like you can switch Kawhi and Harden and Giannis. You can switch them up.
By Leonard.
It's kind of
Now,
the same stuff.
let's just get right into it. Dame being a tier above Russ and Kyrie,
Yes.
I think he deserves it. Dame just came off a season where he led the Blazers to the Western.
Okay. Let's get it.
Let's go with the majority of people believing an 8 assists on a really that it's hypocrite on because it seems like he does fit in that category. But I challenge you to make a list and put Damian Lillard at 20. It just wouldn't make any sense. Also, the difference is Damian Lillard has already proven that he can be a leader of a playoff team.
Right.
A leader of a team that can make it all the way
his
to the
team
Western
wasn't even that
Conference
good.
Finals and has been doing this
Give
for
it CJ, and that's
3+
pretty much it.
years now. That's the difference.
Damian is-
Next up, I want to talk about the biggest elephant in the room when it comes to my top 10 because up to this point, it seems like I've been optimistic about all the injured players. Despite their injuries, I still have Kyrie at 11, I still have Klay Thompson at 18, and even in my top 10, I still have Stephen Curry at 4. But again, Kyrie Irving has proven to bounce back from a lot of injuries, and he's still
put KD below Anthony Davis is kind of disrespectful. I mean, not disrespectful, but again, it's interchangeable. You can kind of switch them up, but usually it's been LeBron, KD, and then like Steph is the top 3 players usually for the past few years. LeBron, KD, then maybe Harden or Steph or But Giannis and AD have been coming to their own recently, And yeah, so it's hard. It's hard to say. It's tough to say, man.
from Curry at 4. But again,
Then Luka's
Kyrie
gonna
Irving
come
has
in.
proven to
Who
bounce
knows?
back from a lot of injuries, and he's still yet to have a major
Luka is
career-shifting
good
injury.
too.
Knock on wood, I really hope nothing happens. His problem is a lot of small injuries.
Alright, guys, so I don't really want to watch the rest of this video, but yeah, I said what I need to say, man. I don't really agree with this list. For the most part, it's okay, you know, but I don't know if I want to make my own list because it's so tough to do. They're interchangeable. Some small changes I would make. The top 8 I don't have a problem with because you can switch them around, and I don't really, except LeBron's number 1. Damian Lillard is over Jokic. I would put Jokic. I would switch Embiid and Jokic and switch Embiid and Lillard after that. But then Siakam, Siakam, man, I don't know, cause he does the same thing every time. He just does a little spin move and I like Siakam though. I respect him. I respect him. He's a grinder. He's a worker. I like Siakam though. Paul George, Jimmy Butler, man, they're all similar. Um, Karl-Anthony Towns, man, you need to lower Jokic, lower Middleton, and lower Sabonis, and put Lou Williams on the list somewhere. Probably switch him out for T.J. Warren or something. But yeah, guys, that's my reaction. Um, Decent list, good list. Yeah. So like and subscribe, please. Check out my other channel. It'll be linked in the description, of course. And yeah, it's gonna cap it off, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Comment down below what I should react to next. Peace out.